Hey guys, it's Fancy, and you're watching the Good Wives Network. And today on America's Sweetheart Murderers, Gypsy Rose and Nick, we are diving into a particular excerpt from Gypsy's memoir, My Time to Stand. Also reveal key insights into Gypsy's mindset and mental health. Let's dish. Hey guys, it's Fancy, and you're watching the Good Wives Network. And today on America's Sweetheart Murderers, Gypsy Rose and Nick, we are diving into a particular excerpt from Gypsy's memoir, My Time to Stand, that raises serious questions. It might not just be about the crime. It could also reveal key insights into Gypsy's mindset and mental health. Let's dish. The passage reads, "What I heard was, let's cut Gypsy's throat for no reason at all. I've had previous surgeries on my neck and the scars brutalized me. But there was something about this particular surgery that felt more threatening than the others." This statement is chilling, but it's also a red flag. Gypsy describes a memory that doesn't align with reality. A procedure like the one she mentions wouldn't involve cutting her throat. It's typically done using a scope through the nose. So why does she remember it this way? The fatal cut on Dee Dee's neck mirrors the location of Gypsy's scars from her salivary gland surgery. Could this connection indicate a deeper symbolic meaning, or is it another example of Gypsy's dramatized perception? Let's revisit Gypsy's medical history. Her chromosomal disorder, 1q21.1 microdeletion, explains many of the health issues she experienced. It's linked to developmental delays, cognitive impairments, and physical conditions like her salivary gland problems. These weren't fabricated. They were medically documented and required interventions. For example, the ASPM gene affecting brain size and development, while others influence immunity and enzyme function, these medical facts undermine the medical child abuse narrative and suggest that Gypsy's claims of long-term abuse might not be entirely accurate.
I want to talk about the night of the murder. Tell me in your own words what happened that night.
Well, really, My mother and I had got into an argument 2 days before, and it was about my feeding tube. We're like, I no longer need this feeding tube. Can we please have it removed? And she said no. And I had an upcoming surgery, and I didn't want to have it, so I asked her, please tell the doctor I don't need this surgery. I've had it 20 times before. Why do we have to have it again?
You talk about it was, your throat was going to be cut, or so it was more of like a life or death sort of situation.
Correct.
Can you sort of describe what that meant to you in a way that, people will hopefully want to go buy the book?
I think that, obviously we wanted, and we meaning me and my co-authors, wanted to convey a sense of urgency.
Okay.
Because a lot of people can't put themselves in the mindset of where I was at with the abuse and how desperate I felt. So having a statement like she was going to cut my throat, that statement stands out a lot. And so it transports the readers into my mind and emotion. And so that's why it was so important to kind of say that and then go into the details of what I meant by that.
Right. It's sort of
People really want to know, what was the final straw? When was the moment when I decided it was her or me? Here you go, y'all, on page 3. 1 month before the murder, my mother tried to cut my throat. At least, that's how I saw it.
Could her dramatic retelling of her medical history and her mother's actions stem from something deeper, like histrionic personality disorder? HPD could provide a framework for understanding why Gypsy feels compelled to paint herself as the ultimate victim. HPD is a cluster B personality disorder characterized by excessive dramatization, attention-seeking behavior, and distorted sense of reality. People with HPD often see their exaggerated or fabricated stories as truth. In Gypsy's case, her narrative casts Dee Dee as the villain and herself as a hero fighting for freedom. External influences also played a role. Gypsy's stepmother, Kristy Blanchard, and her attorney-turned-manager, Mike Stanfield, were instrumental in promoting the Munchausen by Proxy medical child abuse narrative. Days after Dee Dee's murder, they signed with HBO and began working to cement the story in the public's mind. Kristy, who had personal animosity toward Dee Dee dating back to high school, may have encouraged Gypsy to embellish her claims. And with HPD making Gypsy highly susceptible to external validation, this reinforcement might have deepened her delusions. Now let's talk about Gypsy's phoenix tattoo. A phoenix represents rebirth and triumph over adversity. For Gypsy, it likely symbolizes her escape from what she saw as an oppressive life. But here's the eerie part. The placement of Dee Dee's torso wounds seemingly align with the wings and the body of the phoenix tattoo. Could this alignment suggest symbolic violence? Perhaps the stabs were Gypsy's subconscious way of destroying her captor and rising anew. Psychologists often discuss how trauma can manifest in violent symbolism, especially for individuals with HPD. If Gypsy has HPD, her belief in her own narrative could be genuine. People with HPD are known to interpret past events in ways that center themselves as victims or heroes. For Gypsy, this could explain why she truly believes Dee Dee was abusive, despite medical records suggesting otherwise. Her chromosomal disorder, which affects a cognitive and emotional development, could further blur the lines between reality and her dramatized memories. It's a combination that complicates how we understand her motivation. The Blanchard case forces us to rethink justice when mental health trauma and external manipulation are involved. If Gypsy's actions were shaped by HPD and external enforcement, how do we balance compassion for her struggles with accountability for her crime? And what about the role of those who capitalized on this story? Kristy and Mike Stanfield plotted from a narrative that might not even be true. Their actions raised ethical questions and exploiting a vulnerable individual for financial gain. Again, doesn't that narrative seem vaguely familiar? It's almost like Kristy jumped right into the role of Dee Dee, but amplified the deception by making higher payouts than Dee Dee could ever have garnered. Gypsy Rose Blanchard's story isn't just about a crime. It's about trauma, identity, and the power of narrative. But as we've seen, the truth is far more complicated than it seems. What do you think? Could HPD be the key to understanding Gypsy's actions? Or does it only deepen the mystery? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more deep dives into true crime. And join me and the girls Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern as we continue dissecting Gypsy's memoir, My Time to Stand.